this minister and the prophet. Give us access to our money. As always said, there are two sets of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the government. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people, Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
The content are proper to the lead of this minister and the prophet.
Give us access to our money.
As always said, there are two sets of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the government. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Good morning and welcome to Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network. Open Conversation is the network's flagship political platform through which trending political news, events and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system and actor to explore hope and engender positive impact to the society. Today on Open Conversation, we'll look at the stories. First, Rivers local government poll. RISEC unveils voters register. Still on Rivers State, PDP no longer popular, afraid of defeat, APP says. And on Cross River State, Electoral Commission prepares for local government poll. And then on to Anambra State, APCA factions clash over Soludo. On National Assembly, Bill for Independent Candidacy scales first reading. And on governance, Jonathan denies sacking Sanusi over alleged missing $49.8 billion. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll delve right into the show. Do not go away.
Representing people, Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
The content are proper to the lead of this minister and the prophet.
Give us access to our money.
As always said, there are two sets of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the coward and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the government. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people, Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
The content are proper to the lead of this minister and the prophet.
Give us access to our money.
As
representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act, I thought that putting us in lead of this minister and the deputy
Give us access to our money
I've always said there are two sets of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Conversation this morning is Honorable Churchill Wali, a politician. Good morning, Honorable Churchill.
Good morning, the face of ATM.
Thank you.
Good morning, Nigerians.
And also joining me on Open Conversation is Emi Feraha, a political analyst. Good morning, Emi, and welcome to Open Conversation.
Good morning, Laurentia. Good morning, Nigerian Rivers people.
And then on to the story. Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission has decried low turnout of electorates in Rumudara community in preparation for the October 5 local government area in Rivers State. RISEC Chairman, Honorable Justice Adolphus Enebeli, retired, expressed displeasure during the official unveiling of voters' register for the October 5, 2024 local government area in Ward 2, Unit 10 and 11, Rumudara Town Hall, adding that the display of the register will be carried out in all 6,866 polling units in 23 local government areas of Rivers State. Enebeli called on the good people of Rivers State to turn out en masse to vote candidates of their choice on Saturday, 5th October 2024. He assured that the security agencies are on alert to deal with miscreants and those planning to ferment trouble. However, other stakeholders in the community, including the paramount ruler of Rumudara, Chief John Iyamade, assured full support during the election.
We are here this morning to formally flag off the display of voters' registers. This ceremony is one of the critical items in the calendar of activities leading to the local government council elections fixed for Saturday, 5th October 2024. The display of voters' registers offers citizens the opportunity to confirm that their names are on the register. It further enables the voters to be certain of which polling unit or booth to cast his vote. And more importantly, it enables the citizens to verify that those who are contesting for political positions as councillors, vice chairman, or chairman are on the register as required by law. The 2024 local government council elections is less than 10 days away. I will therefore seize this opportunity to call on the good people of Rivers State to turn out their map to vote candidates of their choice on Saturday, 5th October 2024. We want a peaceful and violence-free election. The security agencies are allowed to deal with miscreants and those planning to foment trouble.
From now till Saturday, the 5th of next month, we will take this message down to the grassroots. We promise you, the time prior we go around, we know how we do to organize our people. We will do more job to make sure that our people will come out en masse. People of Obiako and the CCC chairman say very big thank you. We have been hearing news that the election might not move. So there have been fears and anxiety all over the place. And with this exercise we have come to do today in Modara is a reassurance that this election will hold. And with what we are seeing on ground, we are sure and we know that you're fully prepared for the election.
And that was the exercise right there on the screen. Honorable Churchill, let me start with you. What do you have to say to this action by RISEC?
Okay, yes, it's a good one. I know too well that the RISEC is prepared for the election like it happened also in Imo State.
Okay.
But really, everybody might believe that the turnout of the election is not encouraging based on the number of persons that are politically aware of the election. But particularly, it is not the doing of any person, neither is the doing of the RISEC. We have to look at the place Nigeria is now, where Nigeria was, what Nigeria believes so much in election. Election before, we used to believe that is an exercise where everybody comes to vote his candidate, and at the end of the election, whomever you vote and whomever that emerges from the polling unit, and then all the polling unit will be the person that will emerge as the winner of the election. But based on what happened in the last 2023 election, so many Nigerians are not really happy concerning the exercise called election. So what I believe so much in now is that the RISEC is so much, they are prepared for the election. The RISECs are prepared for the election. And the voters, also some of the voters, and the present contestants are also prepared. Why did I say some of the voters? I believe that, yes, what I said before concerning the mindset of the people concerning election, the people really need to be reassured again. What is happening now is still what will happen 2027. Because Nigerians are not happy with the outcome of 2023 election. What happened, the people that were killed during the election and all the rest of them. You understand, the intimidation and the rest of them. So the people need to be reassured that their election, this election, when they vote, it will count. That is what will happen, and that is only how people will be encouraged to come out for the election.
All right, Honorable Churchill. The question is around RISEC unveiling the voters register, right? And you recall that the APC under the caretaker chairman, Tony Okocha faction, had gone to court and got an injunction against the RISEC, stopping INEC in the first instance. The order stopped INEC from releasing the register, the voters register, to RISEC, as well as other electoral materials. The order also stopped security agencies and other stakeholders from participating in the elections, the forthcoming River State elections. And now the RISEC is unveiling voters register. The question is, where did RISEC get the voters register that they unveiled?
Okay, one thing in Nigeria now, I will not tell anybody, is that the judiciary is one of the problems of Nigeria. I would say it anywhere and anytime. Because, why did I say the judiciary is one of the problems of Nigeria? Yes, APC has two factions, and as it stands now, the two factions is still in court.
At the time this court case was instituted against the RISEC, Emeka Beke has not gotten court judgment reinstating him as the APC chairman in Rivers.
But even at that, Emeka Beke was still in court with the caretaker committee.
You're not paying attention.
Okay.
The conversation is not around the legitimacy of Emeka Beke or Tony Okocha.
Okay.
The conversation is not APC. The conversation is on
the court injunction. Is the court injunction
yes. And the order of the courts barring INEC from releasing voters register to RISEC, and also barring security agencies and other stakeholders from participating in the forthcoming River State local government election on October 5. Now the question is, if the court had barred INEC from releasing electoral materials such as the voters register to RISEC, how did RISEC get this voters register that they unveiled?
What I know too well about the register is a property of the INEC. And if you're asking me how did the RISEC get the voters register that they unveiled, we should ask INEC how did the RISEC get the voters register they unveiled. Because I know too well that the RISEC is the state electoral commission who takes the materials they want to use and conduct, or they will use to conduct election, from the independent electoral commission. So that should be for the INEC. But what I look at in this scenario is that a court injunction stopping the RISEC from participating or from the conducting election and stopping INEC from releasing materials to RISEC, and also stopping the security agencies from participating in the election, including the stakeholders. If there is any court injunction of such, you understand, which I know, the RISEC is supposed, the stakeholders, the people that has that injunction, is supposed to obey the injunction, the order. You understand? But of when did Nigeria start obeying injunction? That is the reason why I say that the judiciary is the cause of the whole problem.
Now, if judiciary is, that's double speak from you, wouldn't you agree? On one hand, you're saying that the respondents in this suit should obey the court order.
That is, if things are being done rightly. If things are being done rightly.
Hold on, Honorable Churchill. On one hand, you're saying they should respect the order or obey the order. On the other hand, you are saying that judiciary is the problem. Is judiciary the problem, or institutions and politicians who have made themselves demigods? So when you say judiciary is the problem, and this is an institution going ahead to flaunt court order, and have also said in their statement that elections will hold October 5 against the court order, how then?
No, you said something.
Make it make sense.
No, you said something that politicians that have made themselves
when politicians choose not to obey court judgments, court rulings, court orders, even institutions in Nigeria.
That is it.
All right, very well. Let me say, what do you have to make of this story?
Yes, I think from my background, there's what we call political pantomime.
Okay.
In a local parlance, we say this hide and seek game. I run to here. Laresha, can you see me? Before you turn your eye, I've run to the other side. And Laresha, can you see me? So you'll be looking, we'll be running like that and all that. This is what we found in Rivers State currently, political pantomime. RISEC is a creation of law. RISEC derived the power from, I think, Section 7 of the 1990 Constitution as amended, where RISEC, the law gives room for state government, to perform certain functions of the third tier of government. And the third tier of government is the local government. If you go by the importance of the local government, it is expected that every organ or institutions that are empowered to perform whatever role or responsibility at the local level ought to be upright, because that is the beginning of government. But unfortunately, we will begin to see areas where institutions of government that are created by law have become so deviant in their behavior to the extent that the Nigeria democracy is actually under threat. Not because Nigeria is a state, but because actions of men have continually to undermine the grown norm of the country and continue to even undermine their own laws that set them up. Following the question you ask, RISEC cannot conduct any election without a voters register, because there has not been any law that empowers state electoral bodies to conduct voters registration. Meaning the voter registration they are relying on to conduct an election is a property of the Independent Electoral Commission, which is INEC. It's a federal government property, which the RISEC can beckon upon if they are to conduct a state local government election. Now, there is a matter in the court, and there is an injunction that stops INEC from releasing that very important electoral document to RISEC. And the order also barred the security agencies from participating in the so-called local government election. What is expected of RISEC, a patriotic citizen that are mounting a position of government institution, was to obey and follow certain underlying means in vacating that order before continuing in the mission of conducting that local government election. But what do we see? I listened to a voice note that was played, I think it was this morning, where the RISEC chairman, with all due respect to him, Justice Adolfo Enebeli, retired, where he was saying that he obtained the voters register last year, that is 2023, in preparation for the RISEC election. Then what came to my mind was to verify if actually I'm in Nigeria. And I discovered that I am in Nigeria. I am healthy. I am fine. And what I had is a Nigeria station playing that news. And the voice I had was Justice Adolfo's voice. Actually said that he got the voter register. Then I asked, when was a date read out for the conduct of local government elections in Rivers State? I discovered it was on the 1st of July in the year 2024. 1st of July 2024, not 1st of July 2023. And you say you got the voter register at a time when nothing was on ground to conduct a local government election. And he said he got it for this election, that they are well prepared. Then I say, political pantomime in play. How did we get here? You can't begin to do this at the local level and expect the society to be well at that level of the state. These are not true. You didn't get voter register at that time because then you didn't have any date for election. So for me, I think some people are just trying to play hide and seek. You see me here, I see you there, I run to this, oh, I've done this, oh, I am doing this. It shows that the RISEC is actually prepared, but they are on a specific mission and agenda. And that mission is not for the welfare or the betterment of democracy in Nigeria, but is for the destruction and undermining of our constitutions and laws that even created the RISEC and anything that has to do with election in the country. So for me, I think we shouldn't be building what will destroy us and turn around to say Nigeria is not working. Nigeria cannot work if we continue to exhibit attitudes that are killer in nature. Attitude that destroy anything that represent progress. Attitude that hinder a nation from advancing from one level of economic and socio-political advancement to another. This is what RISEC is actually telling us today. And everything surrounding the so-called or upcoming local government election is shrouded in that political pantomime. Let me prove another one. Do you know that in every election, there is a stipulated time, right, to organize primaries, to publish names of supposed candidates for the elections, and for education of voters or whatever? Everything has a process and a time frame. And this process ought to be followed from one time to the other. But if you check recently, I saw a publication and I verified very well to be sure that this thing came from RISEC, where they were advertising for people to apply for ad hoc staff that will conduct an election. And I calculated between that time, it was less than 3 weeks to the May election. That is why you are now looking for people who will even sit down to conduct the election. It tells me, number one, you are not prepared. You are not even trying to conduct an election. Because at what time are you going to recruit these people? You know, teach them, train them, and induct them into the practices and expectation of RISEC. It's not done. Now, it was few days ago or yesterday, today is 27th in the month of September, right? And the election that they are talking about is on the 5th. On the 5th is less than 8 days from now.
Next week Saturday.
It is today or yesterday that you are now displaying voters register, assuming you got the voter register for whatever means that is unknown to the law and even unknown to INEC, the owner of the property. It is few days, less than 8 days to the election. That is why you are now displaying voters register for voter or supposed voters to come around and check if their name is on the voters register for them to come out and cast their vote. So at what time will all this thing be done? It tells me that it's all about this propaganda. The more you look, the less you see. And at the end, after the conduct of the shenanigan that is coming, the same people will tell you Nigeria is not working. INEC has failed. Oh, Nigeria can never work. Oh, Nigeria is this. The Nigeria we are talking about and everything about the Nigeria starts with you. It starts with you. You are the ambassador. You are the replica of the Nigeria. The action you are portraying, that is the action that is actually making Nigeria grow or retarding Nigeria from growing. So I think the time and the processes through which the voter register was according to the chairman of RISEC, I think there is more to be digged out, and there are things that are not true in entirety, and we need more clarification if true what we are about to see is an election, not selection, and to achieve certain political agenda.
All right. Church, you say?
Yes, I have a lot to say.
All right, go on. You have the floor.
You know, I note well that this is not the first time that the election is being conducted in Rivers State. I mean, RISEC has conducted the election. I was a councillor of my ward. I was elected as a councillor in 2018. I was sworn in, that is 2018. My election was on 14th. We were sworn in on 16th. Yes. So I believe too well that the elections has been particularly the last one that was conducted in Imo State, which date was fixed and another date was shifted so many times. So we Nigerians know too well that first of all that local government election that is being conducted by state electoral commission has their own way and the manner they do it. And it is to Rivers State. We know that yes, it has been happening in other states. The reason why everybody is agitated, every Nigerian is agitating that the law that is being made or that they are making now concerning the independent commission to take over the conducting of local government election will come to stay. We also know that RISEC was inaugurated 2023. So it is in the corridor of the chairman to say when he received the register, because when you are being appointed as a RISEC chairman or a member, you know what you are going to do. The most important thing you are going to do is to only conduct the local government election. So we know that yes, he might have collected the voters register before the court order, such that I don't know, and I wouldn't tell on my own.
No, you just said now that
yes,
he was inaugurated in
2023, and everybody knows
conduct
that.
the elections, and
no, he was inaugurated, and he knows too well that this is his duty.
Hold on, he was inaugurated in 2023,
yeah,
and apparently had access to the register in 2023.
I said that if he only know, he can only tell us Nigerians when he collected the voters register. It's only him that has, because I was not there when he collected the voters register. That is the one area. And again, coming to injunction, court order here and there, I have said it severally that the judiciary should tell Nigeria. In short, the judiciary need to be reformed in Nigeria.
We are not discussing.
When I say about the judiciary need to be reformed, because what I'm saying is that the way others fly out in Nigeria is not the way it is being done and mostly in Rivers State. All this while, since 2023, others have been flying in and flying out.
So what I'm reflecting, if you want to discuss judicial order, you can discuss this particular order.
No,
that barred INEC from releasing the voters register to RISEC.
And I know when the order was.
And do you know what gave rise to that action by the Tony Okocha-led APC faction?
Of course, I know.
What led
to it is that Tony Okocha alleged that he wasn't invited for the meeting.
APC was not invited.
No, he said he wasn't invited for the meeting, and that he is the APC chairman. That if he is not invited for the meeting, that means APC was not invited for the meeting. So he now, with that, he went to court to say that if he was not invited as a stakeholder in this stakeholders meeting, the one representing his party, that means that his party will not.
Was APC invited to that meeting?
APC has two factions.
At that time, was APC? I asked you a straight question.
Yeah.
At that time, at that material time, was APC invited to that meeting?
Okay, let me go direct to the question. Let me go to that direct question. Yes, like that is among the commissioners, not the chairman, with him, asking him a question. Why was it that the so party was not invited? He said that they wrote to all the parties. They wrote to PDP and they wrote to APC for the meeting. So any party that refuses to attend the meeting does not mean that the party was not invited.
APC said they did not receive
they did not receive the letter.
The letter, they did not receive the letter, and ironically, other parties received.
But I read it on social media when Tony Okocha visited the research commissioner, the chairman. I was aware when
the question is that I am not. The question is not on the visit of Tony Okocha.
The question is
on RISEC following due process
in the election,
in this council elections. That is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at due process. Is RISEC?
Now, when you look at it in your own perspective, in
your own perspective.
In my own perspective,
yes.
Election, the publication is done for ad hoc. Publication has been done in all the processes.
Now,
the screening, publication.
Amy, on the other hand, raised some salient points.
Okay.
He said he heard a voice note, and he pointed out that it was the research chairman saying that he had access to the voters register in 2023.
Yeah.
Now, you've made a case for that.
That he was inaugurated 2023.
That he was inaugurated in 2023. He oversaw the elections in 2020, so he had access. I'll still come to that.
Okay.
Now, he also said, Emi Feaha also said that he saw a publication, an article calling for employment of research ad hoc staff.
Not employment for application.
Application for what?
For ad hoc staffs.
What is that?
That is no, only 100 persons might apply and 20 persons might be employed.
So you still called it employment?
Yes. Okay.
So it's employment.
Is an employment.
Very well.
But let's look at it that the whole processes concerning the election was followed.
What's the window? You are calling for employment.
And when we are looking at the window, we are looking at the window based on constitution, and there is no constitution that says that.
Hold on, there is an electoral act.
That says this period is the
Honorable Churchill,
okay.
RISEC released their timetable.
Okay.
Over 2 months ago.
Okay.
As at the time they released their timetable, RISEC was not ready yet.
As the time they released their timetable.
Because what was the time the timetable was released, and what was the time a call for ad hoc staff? What was the time the publication for employment of ad hoc staff released? Can you marry both together? Can you make it make sense?
No. It depends.
So now
when the person sees the publication.
No. Don't say that. Every publication has time, dates written on it.
Okay.
Even newspaper publications, you can quote the date.
It was written 17th July.
You can quote the dates.
No, it was written 17th July.
You can quote the date.
Okay.
The date INEC released their timetable.
Okay.
Wherever that publication is, any day you see that publication, you will see the dates on it. So, I mean, we are in a digital world, so you can't say it depends on the date the person sees. The date the person saw it is inconsequential. What matters is the date that publication was released, and he quoted the date it was published and not the date he saw it.
Okay.
So there are two different things. Let's get that right.
Okay.
Now, you are saying that the INEC chairman is well within his rights to publish or unveil a voters register he got by the reason of his office in 2023.
Okay, I want to make it very clear.
If that is the case,
okay.
If that is the case, why then do state electoral commissions, why do they have to write to INEC each time they want to conduct elections for electoral materials? So are you also saying saying that if it is okay for the research chairman to unveil a voter register he got last year, So he can also use probably
Because
electoral materials, leftover electoral materials, if he has any. It is well within his rights to also use past electoral materials for this election.
Okay, let's make it right. There was no time. I've not seen any article, you understand, or any act in the Electoral Act, any column in the Electoral Act that stipulates the time for publication of register by the RISEC. I mean the State Electoral Commission. I haven't seen. When I mean I haven't seen. Now, when I was elected, during the period that we did our election, we know when the register was also published. We know when we published the register, and I can stand to say it anywhere and anytime that the register was published a week to our election. I was the one that pasted that of my units. I pasted it. So nobody should come and be telling us that in local government election that there is a process, and the process there is a process. No, hold on, no, there is a process, and the process was not followed by this current RISEC. Because I have watched all their processes. Yes, me, I'm not participating because my party is not participating, but that does not mean I won't vote.
Was your party extended invitation?
Yes, my party was extended invitation. I'm a PDP member.
Your party was extended.
Yes, but my party, because of the issue in my party is not participating.
We'll still come to that.
Okay.
All right. Emmy.
I think we are talking to the world by virtue of this platform.
Yeah.
And we are actually talking in order to ensure that there is a social transformation in the country. There is a rule. I might not be precise now. The rule here I'm talking about is the law of Rivers State. If I will want to go into details, it may look as if I will be indicting certain persons. So let me be lenient and trying to, to make it just a conversation. RISEC has a constitutional mandate to declare an election within a certain stipulated time as enshrined in the law. If you go back and you extract critically, and that was one of the grouses of Mr. or Chief Tony Okocha, when he said there are times that RISEC was supposed to roll out or make an announcement in preparation for the conduct of local government election.
90 days.
Was the time followed?
Yes.
The answer is no. 2, if you also go by the processes and the proclamation that the RISEC chairman says he got a voters register last year, and when he was confronted before now, right, there was an issue that RISEC was not preparing for an election because there was no money as proclaimed by the government of the state. So there was no activities. When the issue of criticism and resistance to the election took the front stage, if RISEC has access to a voter register or have gotten a voters register, as at the time, in line with the timetable they published, which was not followed as well, RISEC will have made note that this is the voter register, we have gotten it before time. There was no issue like that. Nothing was displayed, but rather what we saw is that nobody can stop RISEC for conducting a local government election. That was a declaration. Then 3, the reason why state electoral bodies write to INEC for voter register and other electoral material is because no state electoral body has been empowered to conduct registration of electorates. So it's only INEC that have that mandate. The reason they write is that by the time they are prepared to conduct that election, INEC may have updated the register, and it is the updated copy that will now be given to the state body to conduct that election. Because by the time that voter register was made, there are 30 persons who are maybe 70 years or 70 years and some months clocking 80 years. So by the time they clock 80 years, it is assume or believe that some people may have attained the age of voting by the time the new election is being conducted. So it is the updated register that is function to the state for them to conduct the election in order to create room for those who are now eligible to cast their ballot to participate in the elections. So if you check well and compare the statement and the action that are emanating from RISEC, there are so much contradictions, and the contradiction is saying one thing here and tomorrow you are saying another thing. You can't say you have a voter register last year, and when you were confronted by this order, you were talking about boasting that nothing can stop you, and you couldn't even say I have the voters register beforehand. There was nothing like that. It is now a few days. That is why you are now saying you have the voter register. And there is a saying in the religion I belongs to that says, as I quote, that should we continue in sin that grace may abound? And the person who is reported to have made that statement says, God forbid. Now, if election had been taking place in other states, and even in Rivers State before, and we've seen a lot of shenanigans, we see a lot of unconstitutionality, we see a lot of disrespect for the rules and the order of the game, does it mean that we will continue in perpetuality of this act by continually disobeying the rules and the rules of engagement in creating a befitting society for ourselves? The answer is no. So if there had been an election that the voter register that was supposed to publish, giving the citizens a time for them to verify and make necessary recommendations and complain to the RISEC or INEC for update and correction, it was done before and no rule was created. So it should continue now that in few days to an election, that is where voter register is being displayed. Is that how INEC does their own? We criticize INEC for not being perfect, and we are in one place encouraging imperfection again in our own quarter. Are we trying to actually build a befitting Nigeria, or we are just trying to play politics around everything? And the most annoying thing to me is that there are so many things we ought to be, enjoying as dividends of democracy at the grassroots. When I mean the grassroots, at the local government, based on the responsibility as function, as saddled the total government by the constitution. We don't see them. Why? Because the local government has become an appendage for politicians, whereby they just go there and misbehave, see the funds that are supposed to be made for development of the people at the grassroots being used to marry third wife, second wife, and buying motor for girlfriends, and hosting party, traveling around, and the people will continue to wail and cry for the state government, or cry even against the federal government for things that ought to be done at the local level. These are some of the issues. So we should not continue in that trajectory. We must have a change, and the change must begin with those things we are doing and criticizing and condemning what is not right, just like the position of RISEC in preparation for the conduct, I would say preparation, in the shenanigans that they are displaying in the name of local government elections.
Okay. I have to say something. Yes, I have to say something. Amy, my friend, my brother, I want to first of all let you know that the period that election is supposed to be people are supposed to register has gone. So at this particular period, until when it comes to 2026, maybe 2025, 2026, that is when INEC will start up another registration.
Registration is a continued process.
It's not a, when I mean
it's a continued process. Update, and update.
Let's believe that
INEC is not scrapped after election. INEC continue to exist.
Let's believe in this first, that during the registration, the INEC
you not enforce your belief on him.
No, the INEC comes up with publication of letting people know that this period is registration period.
I agree with you.
And within that period,
yes,
after the registration, INEC will now upload. That is when the election of the national election.
The uploading is
so
the update.
This particular period,
the update that we are talking about
using is the last election. That is the
one they got last year that
INEC used
that
to
they
conduct
couldn't
23
display,
election.
that they couldn't display,
But what
and
I'm
they
saying
couldn't
is
ask
The question is,
no, let me
what
just say
they, hold
something.
on, what they got was, according to you, the voters register that was used for election
23 election
last year.
and that is the
Now,
current one.
according to the law, Electoral Act, did it say that state electoral commissions can use past voters register for current elections?
It's the current register.
No, that's
because
not
there
the
is
question.
no more. There
That
is
is not
nothing.
the question.
No, it's the current register.
Regardless of whether the voter register was used last year or not,
the voters
according
register.
to the Electoral Act, is INEC, according to the procedures as well, is INEC supposed to, is RISEC supposed to write to INEC for release of voter register to them?
They've written and they've released it. That was 2023.
The question, the election, hold on. Are we having local
An election in
government elections 2023 or
Okay,
local
okay.
government elections?
Let me clear this.
Hold on,
Let me
hold
clear
on,
this
hold on,
scenario.
hold on.
I want to clear this
Hold
scenario.
on, hold on. I'm asking you a question. Don't be too quick to cut me off.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, are we having local government elections 2023 or local government elections 2024? Which one are we having?
Okay, we're having local government election 2024, but the RISEC was inaugurated 2023 and was given the mandate. They were given when we mean National Electoral Commission. Their mandate is different from the State Electoral Commission. And let me tell you, they are
how does that justify?
No, they have
hold on. How does that
office.
justify RISEC using 2023 voter register for 2024 elections?
Yes, they can
Have
even do
INEC
that.
come
They
out
can
to
even
say they just updated it now? What the procedures are? Is it not for RISEC or state electoral commissions to write to INEC to release materials for them for the conduct of elections that year?
That is the reason why I said let me clear this scenario. When these people were inaugurated, they were given a mandate. And during this period of this mandate, election was supposed to be conducted before issues came up in Rivers State. That was what lingered the election till this particular period.
And don't forget.
Let me clear.
And don't forget. I just want to say something. Don't forget that time after their inauguration. You didn't even tell us at what time, the date they were inaugurated for us to measure. So I won't go there. Do you also know that after the inauguration, when people were clamoring for an election in Rivers State, local government election, Rivers, what was the pronouncement for RISEC?
When people were clamoring,
yes,
for election, that was still 2023.
If 2023, I'm even telling
that
you,
was still 2023. Now, RISEC,
the clamoring for election
started. They never had the funds.
Started this year.
They never had the funds.
My brother, let us get issue.
Let us get issue.
Do you know the ironical, the irony of this whole thing is that Honorable Churchill, I recall that they were seated in your seat, your position, and he was among the people that loudly clamored for local government election.
And
towards the expiration of the outgone local government chairman. He was among the persons that were.
The call began this year. Yes, the call began this year.
I clamored for it, and I wanted it. And by the grace of the Rivers people wanted it.
And it was the same year that RISEC said there is nothing on ground in preparation for election. It was this year.
This election.
Do you want me to load it?
He asked you a question.
Do you want me to? That is why I say I don't want to go into much detail so that I won't go in dictating
people. They don't have funding to run election.
And there was nothing on ground preparation for election. Do you know it was this year?
That they said do you know it was this year? They had no funding this year. RISEC has not spoken about funds this year.
I can pull out your old videos.
Of course, I read it.
It was this year.
I can pull out your old videos.
Where you? In fact, I remember a particular response that the RISEC were actually responding to Chief Tony Okocha's comment and request for conduct of local government election.
Yes.
If you go by those reply and all that, brother,
but the election is here now. Why not we believe that yes, the RISEC has done the right thing?
The question is not elections, Honorable Churchill.
The question is the order.
The question is following due process, and the question is a hanging court order. And,
you have come
Emi
with
has
the order.
said, no, that was what we've been discussing, but you've been Nicodemusly trying to,
No, I'm not.
deflect
I'm not
and
the
maneuver
Nicodemus.
your
I'm
way
not
out
the
of it.
Nicodemus.
So now, the thing, we've still come back to that.
Yeah.
Emi said, why didn't RISEC vacate that order? Now, the window to vacate that order, according to the law, has elapsed. That order cannot be vacated anymore.
We've had so many orders.
The governor, first of all, came out to say in response to that court order that nothing will stop the local government elections from holding. And RISEC largely has been silent. And then recently also came out to say elections must hold. And now they've unveiled the voter register. And myself as a journalist, I am curious to know how RISEC got the voters register when the INEC has been barred by a court of competent jurisdiction from releasing the voter register and also other sensitive voters electoral materials to RISEC. And I've also asked another question. Probably I'll ask you because you didn't answer that question.
Oh, which of the questions?
Intentionally.
No,
I'll ask me now. Now, Emi, the question I want to ask you is this. If RISEC had gone ahead to unveil a voter register they had in 2023, what happens to, how is RISEC also going to conduct these elections? Because definitely they will need electoral materials.
You see, I made mention of contradiction the other time, and I will be specific following this your question, or in answering this your question. Starting with the voters register. In Kwara states, they had similar issue like the one of River State, where there were several court injunction and orders and the rest of it. What the state electoral umpire did in Kwara State was to ensure there was a certain shift in the date of the conduct of elections and all things. A judgment was pronounced by a competent court of jurisdiction that yes, they can't stop the conduct of local government election in Kwara State, and that is where Kwara State went ahead to conduct their election. Bringing back the scenario to River State, when that issue of the court order took the front stage, what RISEC was saying and some other person that no court has the right to stop RISEC from conducting an election. And even RISEC boasted in this line that no court on earth, no court in Nigeria can stop them, according to RISEC. This was what was on ground. When RISEC now face the reality that actually there could be one or two court pronouncements that can actually hinder the conduct of the law, the RISEC now came that, oh, we've gotten the voters register before now. Before you were proud, you were boasting. Suddenly, you renege in your boasts to, you've gotten the material, you've gotten that. Dig deep, you will see that something is actually fishing. I don't want to indict anybody. Then, how they got...
He has indicted them already.
How they got... I didn't say anything. How they got the voters register? I think I will actually employ INEC to speak. Clear your name. Don't be embroiled in this political brouhaha in River State. Clear your name. And how RISEC got the voters register, we also need more information from them. Then the order didn't stop at voter register. The order went as far as barring security agencies from participating in the proposed River State local council's election. Now, how will you conduct an election without security, knowing the volatile nature of the area we live in? Are you going to recruit private security people to conduct an election in River State? Does the law provide for such practice? If the law didn't provide for such practice, so it means whatever action you take in that regard, it becomes another illegality in plenty of plethora of illegality. Now you are not still following the process as expected by the law that created the RISEC and other election activities in Nigeria. So it means for me, RISEC should not be seen as an institution that portrays itself as above the law. If you are a creation of law, try to understand the law and work in accordance with the law. That is what we call conformity. But if you decide to be deviant, Nigerians will talk. People like us will talk. God gave me mouth to talk, and I will talk. So when I am talking, please don't get angry, because you gave room for us to talk. I will talk. We point out the faults. So please, RISEC, the way the election, the proposed election is going, there are issues already. It seems there are too much illegality that is driving the election. So, and I don't want RISEC to portray itself in that manner, most especially when the head of RISEC is a retired judge, respected judge. So I think you know the law. And as a custodian of the law before now, should always be a custodian of the law at all time, and guiding RISEC into doing what is right. And that is what I think I will appeal to them. And also tell Nigeria, a time has come for us to return every local council's election to the table of INEC. Let us have INEC conducting local government election. I know some people will say, oh, what about the one INEC is conducting? But if you just oppose what happens at the state level and what we have with INEC, I think INEC is an angel compared to what we are having at the state level. A governor will conduct an election, party wins all. Campaign, you are not even allowed to campaign. You don't even have right to any material. Everything is assigned, written in government house and announced by the stooge they call the state electoral body, and that is all. You can't go anywhere. But if INEC conduct a little level of transparency and level playing field, we will see. So Nigeria, let's fast track this thing and return conduct of local government election to the national electoral body. And also to enable
still boils down to the question I asked you about how will RISEC conduct these elections, with what electoral materials? Are they going to also, do they have leftover 2023 electoral materials? If they are unveiling 2023 voter register, then allegedly, then how, I mean, what's going to happen?
The thing now is this. Some people might say that after the conduct of 2023 general elections, there have not been any other election in Rivers State. So the voters register of 2023 is still valid. While some people will say the total number of eligible voters in the hands of INEC today is not the same as the total number of voters registered in Nigeria. Because we have several re-registration of Nigerians who are now eligible to participate in an election that is, they've clocked the age of 18, meaning there is a little bit of changes in the INEC voters register in the custody of INEC as it were today. So if the old one is given to them, and in the case of Rivers, they will not have any election, maybe it might still be valid. But the problem now is, how did you get it? If you've gotten it before, you would have said from the ab initio that we have this thing in our custody, but rather you were bragging that nobody can stop you. And at a time, you even told the whole world, that Rivers people, there was no preparation on ground, you know, to conduct a local government election because you've not gotten funds for such. So how come suddenly you say everything is not in place? You had everything in place. Meanwhile, you said before now that there is nothing on ground in preparation for conduct of election in Rivers State because you lack the funds. You are not being empowered to do so. So for me, like I said earlier, it's now left for RISEC to choose the path of righteousness or to choose the path of sin. Like Apostle Paul says, shall we continue in sin that the grace may abound? He says, God forbid.
All right.
Let me just... No, I know too well, but what I'm saying is that the local government election that is coming up, the RISEC has already prepared before this time. So by 2023, by the 2023, because you can't apply one and without the other. So the that means the application they did was for INEC to give them the materials to conduct election.
When was that?
And they have done that 2023. So they are prepared for the election.
2023
after the inauguration.
Interesting.
That is what the RISEC chairman told us.
So that means even
based on what Amy said.
No, you just
no, based on what Amy said.
You said, I'm quoting you. That is what the RISEC chairman told you.
No, they didn't tell me. based on
But that's what you just said.
Told us, because it's a publication he did.
Did you see that publication?
Amy said he saw the
because
publication.
on this show so far, you've been claiming a lot of amnesia to a lot of issues that you are aware of, that I know that you.
I'm not aware of anything.
Aware of, yes. And
they prepared.
So if INEC, according to you, after their inauguration, you're saying INEC released the voter register to them in 2023.
Yes.
So I also assume that INEC also released the beavers to them, released the ballot papers and ballot boxes, all the materials.
It's the state that will create whatever ballots they will use. But the point now is this: is the state that will create whatever material they will use. But the point now is this: you say you got voter register 2023. Meanwhile, you announce the conduct of local government election in Rivers State on the 1st of July 2024.
That he announced.
And by January, you said there is nothing on ground. In January 2024. You said there's nothing on ground in preparation for local government
and
election.
And by July, you said that I'm coming for the election.
In 2024, January, even as at February, where people were clamoring and saying the tenure of the outgoing local government chairman will elapse by the law of Rivers State, that you were supposed to have announced a time that was given before the expiration of the time. You didn't do, and at that time your response was that there is no funding. I'm coming. Your response was that there is no funding and you don't have any preparation on ground to conduct an election until 1st of July 2024. And here you are now saying you got prepared in 2023.
but you know the announcement. But what we're talking about is by the 1st of July is the 90 days complete for the election to be conducted by 5th of October. If by 1st of July the 90 days is complete, you understand, to conduct election by 5th of October, then there shouldn't be any issue trying to stop the election. And that is the reason why the research chairman has said that nobody will stop the election.
Honorable Church. You know why I'm calling your name, right? Okay.
But you know what I'm saying is the truth.
Because on this
show, what I know is
on this show,
90 days.
On this show, you have said a lot, and thankfully, our viewers have always followed us, and they know every single guest and what they stand for. And I'm sure they will be very, very technical.
No, they know that I'm a PDP member.
Regardless, it's not about you being a PDP member. It's about you recanting everything you have said previously, and you're saying something different, which for me is not a problem. It's okay as long as we are alive and we are human beings. Probably you've seen the light.
I didn't say anything
but
different.
The point I'm trying to make, you are saying that
the election
you are saying that the court order cannot stop RISEC from holding.
I didn't say the court order can't stop.
You need to listen to yourself.
No, what I said is that the RISEC chairman said that nobody can stop the election. Believing that
in what instance, what is attempting to stop the election right now? Is it not a court order?
Out of 10 persons, for example, I want to say something. Let's be just specific. PDP did not go to court. My party didn't go to court to stop the election.
Are you aware that there are rejoinders to the case? Are you aware? Are you aware that they are joined us to the case?
Which
other parties have joined the case? You're not aware of it. Okay, moving on.
There is even one thing that is very important,
I'm not aware of it,
which I will just say in a passive. Do you even know that following the timetable INEC read out, there is a date INEC said they will publish the names of candidates for the election, which has elapsed?
Very well.
Has the names of the candidates been published?
Yes, you did not see the newspaper.
When? Where was the date?
When was it published?
It has been published.
When?
Based on the date they gave.
When? Compared to the time they have in their time.
You didn't see the newspaper.
You are indeed a politician. But then moving forward, still on Rivers State, Action People's Party has mocked the People's Democratic Party in Rivers State for pulling out of the forthcoming local government elections in the state, scheduled for October 5, 2024, saying the action shows fear of defeat. This is as the APP vowed to clinch the chairmanship position in all 23 local government areas of the state and the councillor positions, saying PDP's claim of popularity in the state was in the past. Recall that the state PDP, Aaron Chukwemeka, at stakeholders meeting at the party secretariat in Port Harcourt on Tuesday said the ruling party in the state would not participate in the council polls, saying it is awaiting the outcome of a case filed by the All Progressive Congress, led by Chief Tony Okocha, against the conduct of the elections. Chukwuemeka also took a swipe at the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, alleging that the electoral umpire did not extend any invitation to the PDP as it did to other parties in the state for a stakeholder meeting where the date of the election and other issues were agreed upon. But speaking at a senatorial campaign in Ahoda East local government area on Wednesday evening, we're going to show
representing people. Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. Still on the story, Chukwuemeka also took a swipe at the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, alleging that the electoral umpire did not extend any invitation to the PDP as he did to other parties in the state for a stakeholders meeting where the date of the election and other issues were agreed upon. But speaking at the senatorial campaign in Ahoda East local government area on Wednesday evening, the state APP chairman, Sonny Wokokoro, said the PDP was being clever by half and merely giving flimsy excuses. He stated, on the 5th of October, the Action People's Party is going to clinch the governorship election in all 319 wards. We are going to win the chairmanship positions in all 23 local government areas of the state. Nobody can stop us. Victory will be ours because the people are with us and God is with us. So we have come to you today to present our manifesto. While other parties are complaining here and there, and some of them are waiting for an imaginary court order to stop RISEC from conducting elections. Unfortunately for them, their lawyers did not tell them that there is no law in the land that stops RISEC from conducting any elections. When RISEC came out with a timetable for the election, even parties that were accusing people of contesting the election came to say that there is a court case somewhere. They are waiting for a court case that they did not institute. There is no law in this land that stops RISEC or INEC from conducting elections. Either you're ready for the elections or you're not ready. Their make-believe popularity would have been exposed if they had shown, and they would have been put to shame if they ever came out for this election. He boasted. He said, whether they, PDP, participate in this election or not, even though they have chickened out like lily-livered people, we are ready for this election and we will win, he boasted. Our correspondent reports that the factional caretaker committee chairman of the APC in Rivers State, Chief Tony Okocha, said in a news briefing in Port Harcourt on Monday that the local government election will not hold following the suit he filed in court against RISEC. But the RISEC chairman, Justice Adolphus Enebeli, retired, while speaking at the training for staff of the commission, said the October 5 date for the election is sacrosanct, insisting that there is neither any judgment nor impediment stopping the state electoral umpire from conducting the elections. Churchill, what do you have to say to this?
Like I said before, I will still say it again. Any party that did not participate in the election does not mean the election will not hold. But following the word that came out from the mouth of the APP chairman, well, you know, my people used to say that when a land is not good, when there is case in a land, is the time for the chiefs, the elders, that is people that are going to judge the matter, for them to enjoy. Because when two persons are quarreling, this person will bring money, this person will bring money, then the chief will be enjoying. This is the time for APP to make mouth, because they see that there is a very serious problem in PDP. But I know too well that if the National Working Committee of my party will look directly into the issue in the party and understand the integrity of making peace, the unity, the reason for unity in our party in Rivers State, it will bring a better name for the party, not only in the state but in the nation, at the nation level. I will not regret my membership, and I cannot denounce my membership of being a PDP member. But when it comes to this local government election, I'm ever ready to vote the most popular candidate, because I know if my party, the issues in my party...
Is there going to be an election? When you say votes, what other parties are fielding candidates?
When I mean there will be an election.
Is it an election or a selection that is going on in Rivers State?
Because there is no how in this election, what I am seeing, that they will tell me, APP will tell me that they will clinch all the positions.
So what other parties?
What I mean is,
what other parties are campaigning right now?
SDP is campaigning, and then NPP is campaigning.
Do you know the name of their candidates?
I can't tell. Can't tell. What I know is that SDP is campaigning, and NPP is campaigning. Which other party?
Yeah, where some of the parties you called right now are joined us to the suit against RISEC.
SDP?
Are you aware some of them are joined us to the suit against RISEC?
I'm not aware that
You're not aware of
SDP
that.
is
just like you
joined
also said right here,
to
that just like you also said...
I am not also aware that my PDP is joined to the suit.
Just like you also said that RISEC extended invitation to PDP, but the APP chairman has come out to slam not extend.
No, the APP chairman. I heard the news very well. The APP chairman did not say they didn't. He said that other parties have flimsy excuses, believing that the PDP is the party that is the governor is a member of PDP.
Okay, let me reread the story just in case you didn't hear. Swipe at the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, alleging that the electoral umpire did not extend any invitation
to him as a chairman.
The PDP. Go and get your facts right.
No. Let me clear it. Let me clear it. There is an issue in our state concerning the Congress that just was concluded. Now, that issue has also let us know that there are persons. No, as it stands now, the governor is not happy with the Congress, such like, you know, the things, what was in should be done very well. For we don't, no, what I'm saying is the truth. So we can now look at who is the authentic chairman of the party.
All right, now you have moved.
But I know too well.
Hold on.
I know too well.
Now you have moved from we received a letter.
I can say anything.
You have moved from that. No, hold on. You have moved from that to now blame the party that probably letter was not sent because PDP right now is having issues and they are yet to know who the leader is because of the Congress.
I want you to read my lips.
Very quickly. I'll still come back to you. But Amy, because of want of time, Amy, what do you have to say to this story?
I'm still swimming, shenanigans. You see, I want to begin by saying that if there is anyone like that the biter will be beaten. And the usual biter is not crying. This is what PDP used to serve to other people before now. They are afraid. They are, they can't win. They can't do. Now that the same dish had been served them. So they have tasted from the bitterness of the whole bad behavior that we shouldn't be encouraging in society. Then also I would want to agree with the APP that yes, they will sweep everything. In fact, sweep even community chairmanship position. Everything, nothing will be left. They will sweep everything. Sweep household elections. Sweep everything. Because it has been construed and constructed to happen in that manner in Brick House. So I think, but to my surprise, is it the same APP that unilaterally declare a seat of people vacant? That are now saying no courts, can later run to court again and say no court, they have matter in court, so you cannot perform as assembly member. And is the same APP? If it's the same people, that is one that shall never end. So for me, I think APP has stated the obvious that they will sweep everything because it has become a norm in Rivers State with this current dispensation that anti-party activities is not the usual and acceptable norm. Since the name, with due respect, Governor Simfobara came to the front line, you know, where Chief Yeso, with due respect to him, started the whole thing, you know. There are so much anti-party activities and giving birth to Fubara. Governor Simfobara also continue in that anti-party activity. So anti-party activity is the party, existing party in Rivers State. Now, so if you are asked which party exists in Rivers State, anti-party activities party. Anti-party activities party. So for me, yes, APP has stated the obvious that we sweep everything because nothing will be left because that is how it has been constructed to happen. The names have been written. What we are actually waiting for, I believe, just a pronouncement, you know, in fulfillment of the agenda that we've seen where voters register was not gotten, but suddenly they have gotten it. Then later, no court can stop. And now, yes, we are in top job preparation. It's just all to fulfillment of that agenda, and that is what we are saying. APP have told Nigeria. So if you care to know that yes, they are in charge, they are sweeping. PDP is giving up flimsy excuses because they are not popular again. And I wonder PDP is not popular, that we have a city governor of PDP governing Rivers State, and PDP is not popular. So it's over-excitement where you are giving things that you are not expected. They are giving a room that you ordinarily you would have been occupied. You see, that excitement will take over your sense of reasoning, and you will say things that ordinarily you will say. Yes, on October 5th, we are just waiting for the announcement. APP won this, APP won 319 councillors, 23 LGA chairmen, all are now APP. APP, congratulations in advance. You've won.
All right. Emmy, then there are also concerns. First off, it's important to note that PDP said they cannot participate in the election. The court order barring from conducting the elections, and they asked RISEC to go and clear that issue first before conducting elections. That's on one hand. Then on another hand, the APP South vice chairman has come out to say that this is not the list that they are fielding for the local government elections, that is not the list APP has for their candidates, that elections, primaries were done in August, and they have the list of their own candidates, which they have not even published as at the time he made that statement. Now, the question would be, is there going to be fire on the mountain in APP, or, I mean, would there be backdoor settlement of these candidates, and then probably at the national and zonal level? What do you have to say to that?
There is fire already, because based on the political practice, the parties are allowed to conduct what they call primaries in preparation for a general elections. And also the law also provides for substitution of candidates. And before you can substitute a candidate, it must be replaced by a member of that party. If person is not a member of your party, then the next thing is to give a waiver. And those things are done, and they are obvious, so people know and see them. The question is, they say they conducted their primaries in August, and they have a list of people who emerged from the primaries. Then we have the names. Sometimes we are now saying are members of PDP. In fact, carrying members of PDP are still serving under PDP. They are not the names that we are now seeing that they are not the candidate of the APP.
The APP has denied that.
And the APP is not telling you that that is not their candidate. This is the reason I say congratulations to APP, because it has been constructed for them to sweep everything in brick house. So they will sweep, even when the names that we sweep are not members of APP. So they will just sweep.
Let me just say
very quickly, in a minute.
But one thing we should all understand is that as PDP has the states at the governorship, that is the brick house, does not mean that there are no other parties. And we believe that so far as Rivers State is concerned, let it be clear that governor is not participating in this election because his party is not participating. But if any party wins,
the people being fielded by APP, who are they? It is obvious. It's an open thing.
No.
The people being fielded. Who are the people being fielded by APP?
The people being fielded.
You're talking of caretaker committee chairmen under PDP that are contesting in APP. They make sense.
They have left the party.
So they are no more governors.
They are no more members.
They are no more governors men.
The question is, at what time did they even resign their membership? At what time did they resign their membership from the PDP and join APP?
And coincided.
I want to also make it clear that there is no jurisdiction time for any person to leave party.
But you know that there is a window for
the time
there is a window for the elections to be conducted. But you know there is a window for primaries to be conducted in political parties according to the elections, that the timetable that was released.
Do I know?
So now, when was the window for conduction of primaries, and at what point did these people suddenly move from PDP to APP and became candidates under APP? When the APP National has come out, when the APP National has come out to say that they already conducted their primaries in August,
And they can give
and that these people are unknown to them.
But they can give
so
waiver.
the state is running their own governments, or they are running their own affairs without the authorization of the national.
Okay, let us also understand that.
All right.
When
we are already out of time.
When P2B flagged up the Labour Party's flag, the conclusion of their primaries has already been done.
No.
And he
stepped down. Patutomi stepped down at the primaries for Peter Obi to take over.
Did you hear that?
Patutomi stepped down for Peter Obi to take over. It was more of a consensus candidate.
All right, gentlemen, this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Open Conversation. Thank you, Honorable Churchill, for coming. And thank you, me, for coming. It's always a pleasure. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Ogu Laurentia. Transition News comes up next. Do not go away.
And company. To condemn this act, I call for critical release of this minister and the
As always said, there are two sets of people, the oppressors and the oppressed, and in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the government. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the